Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. Listen, if you watched yesterday when I showed you how to make this really super cute card, which unfortunately, oh, here's mine. This super card, it's adorable. This one says hug, and you get all the components for it. But today I'm going to show you how to use that same kit that you bought, and instead of making a card out of it, you can make a Mother's Day mug if you do sublimation. So I'm going to show you in Silhouette Design Space how to get this ready. And you can use the free version of that and just print it, and you don't even need to have a cutting machine to do this. So I'm going to show you the mug. Isn't it super cute? This is an 11-ounce mug. I get mine from Heat Press Nation. I'll have the link down below for you, as well as the link to our Etsy shop, the DIGI Chicks Etsy shop, so that you can purchase these if you want to, the files. So let's get started. Okay, first I just wanted to show you where you can get the digital kit in case you want to make this for your mom for Mother's Day, or the hug card, or the mom card. So you just go to our digital kit Etsy shop, and I'll have it linked for you down below. All of the Digi Chicks, who you can see right here, are involved in this project. But anyway, if you scroll down right here, you can see the featured item, which is this one right here. If I double click on that, and you do as well, you'll be able to click on these other things over here, so you can see just what you get in the kit. Okay, so these are the items, all of this stuff you'll get in this kit for $5. I think it's a pretty good deal myself. Anyway, so you just add it to your cart and purchase it like that. So let's go to Silhouette now. And I already have the parts open. This is how I made it for my Mom's Day mug. And of course, as you know, or I will explain again, you have to flip it or mirror it so that it works right for your mug. But let's start from the very beginning. So I'd like you to look down here at my desk, and I'm going to show you how I know what size to make this thing. Okay, I'll move my kit components from yesterday out of the way from my card. And this is the mug that I'm going to use. As I said, it's an 11-ounce mug. So what I do is this. Whoops, I dropped it. I use a measuring tape, and I do this every time just because I like to make sure. I will start here at the back, right here, about a finger's distance away from the handle, and then just go all the way around till the other side where I'm about a finger's distance away from the handle. So I'm noticing that that would be about 8.5 inches. That's how big around I can make this thing. So I can make it 8.5 inches around, and I wouldn't want to make it any bigger than 3 inches tall probably, because I like a white border at the top and the bottom. So what did I say? 3 inches and 8.5. Let's double check. Finger width away, go around here. Yes, 8.5. So the next thing I do after I design it, and I'll just show you this right here, is I always go ahead and print one out just of cardstock or even typing paper or copy paper. It doesn't matter. I just want to print it out before I go ahead and waste any of my good stuff, so I can put it on my mug and see, am I going to like this thing like this? So I kind of measure it up the way it's going to be, and just kind of eyeball it and see, do I like that? If I don't, I'll resize it, but I loved the way this worked, just like this. So I'm going to use it just like it is, like this. Now, I'm going to teach you how to do this. If you want to get this one already made up, let me know in the comments below, and I'll put it in our Etsy shop for like $1 where it's already made up and flattened and ready to go. Okay, so here's this. So the next thing that I usually like to do is take, oh, I'm not ready for this part yet, but what I will do is take some alcohol and clean this off so that it's no grimy stuff on it. So let's go back to Silhouette. Okay, here we are back in Silhouette, and I'm going to show you how you can do this with the Silhouette software, and you don't even have to have a cutting machine, and you don't have to have the paid version of Silhouette. So right now I'm in the business edition. I'm going to come up here to where it says help, and I'm going to say view in standard edition, which is the free version that you can use on any computer. Okay, there. Gets rid of some of my tools over here, but not to worry. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is these are the ones I'm going to try to replicate. This one in particular, this is just the same thing that's been flipped horizontally. So I'm going to go to File and Merge because I want to merge the same stuff right here into the same page that I'm working on. So if you do have the kit from yesterday, you would have 3 of these that are zipped files, and then after you unzip them, you'll have 3 that are unzipped. So I'm going to get the mom base, click on that, and I'm going to get the one that is the Silhouette file right here, and open that. Perfect. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to rotate it. So I'm going to grab all of these together and then hold down my Shift key and rotate it so it makes more sense to me while I'm working. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is just come here and line these up. Just put them right here. If I want to, I can come up, grab them all, and come up here to this tool and align them left and maybe align them to the top so they are aligned perfectly. So that's just what I like, just like that. And what I can do now is I can just simply group these. The next thing I'm going to do, let's see. I said that I could make this 8.5 by 3. So I'm going to put an offset around this first. So I'm going to come over here to the offset tool, which is the star with an offset, and I'm going to say offset. And I think I'll just leave it at the offset that it puts on it automatically. And so I'm going to change its color though, and I want it to be the green because I think that really shows up nicely on the white mug. If I don't have that green color, I can click on the eyedropper here and come here and get the green from the word mom, just like that. Okay, and now I'm going to group this. Okay, and as I said, we said it, whoops, what did I miss? Group. We said that this could be 8.5 inches wide. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this lock for a minute and change this to 8.5. Hit enter. And I said I didn't want it to be any bigger than about 3 inches tall. So to be honest with you, I'm just going to squish this down like that a little bit. Make it about 3 inches tall. And that looks pretty good. Let's see. Actually, it looks like I had this one a little bit bigger. Was it? Let me double check my mug and my measuring tape. Okay, I can actually have it like 3 1/4 if I want. It's a little bit larger. So I'm just making this the same size as my first one just because I really liked how that turned out. And I don't want to have to go ahead and print this again and make sure it's the right size. So I actually have this at 3 or 8.5 and 3.5. I gotta double check that. Let's see, 8.5 and 3.5. So I'm just looking at my 3.5 is really cutting it close. I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller. Like that. Okay. All right, so there's my mom just like that, and that's perfect. So now I've got to get these butterflies, and I need to have this sentiment. So I'll go to File and Merge because I want it to come into the same place again. I'm going to go up one arrow because that brings me back to all of these folders, and I'm going to go to Embellishments, and I'm going to go to Sentiments, and this. Okay, here are all the sentiments, and the one that I want is right here. So I'm going to right click on this and say release the compound path. So that makes it so I can grab one of these. I'm going to make it smaller so it will fit nicely on here. Just like that. And again, this is why I like to print something out before I'm totally done with it, so I can make sure that I really like how it looks. Then I'll come over here once again, go to File and Merge, because now I need the butterflies. So they'll go up, and they're in the bookmark butterflies, etc. And here we go. So once again, I'm going to right click and say release the compound path so that I can grab, oh, the butterflies aren't here. They have their own thing. If I wanted to get some of these flowers or the bow, I could, but I'm not going to use them this time. So I'm just going to delete that. Delete. I meant to go to File and Merge, and I wanted the butterflies. There we go. All right, so I'm going to delete these over here. Move these over before I release them. All right, so I'm just going to click on this now and say release the compound path. So now I have all these butterflies, and I may not want them this big, which I didn't. So I just went ahead and made them smaller. You can do whatever you like, whichever butterflies you like. You know, I think I put him, oh, this one. I think I like this little darker one down at the bottom left. And maybe this purpley one. Again, I'm just clicking on it and grabbing the corner box so I can squish it in to make it a little bit smaller. And maybe one more yellow one. Squish him in. So that's how easy it is to get this ready. Now, let me grab all this stuff now and group it. So let's see, does it look pretty similar to this one? Just checking. Yeah, looks really good. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'll get rid of all of these butterflies. And what I would need to do now is to just print this. But before I print it, I'm going to have to mirror it, because you have to do that if you have text on there for your sublimation. So I would just right click on this and say flip horizontally. Okay. And I know on my 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, if I grab this and scroll it like that, that I can fit two of these side by side. So I can right click on this and say duplicate, or I can hold down the Alt key on my keyboard and drag one over. And now the only thing I have left to do is to print it. And I don't need this to be a print and cut, because I'm just going to cut it with my little cutter when I'm ready. So I'm going to go ahead and file and print. But I'm going to actually print these that I had done before this one, because I actually, I had, like I said, printed it out and tested it on my mug to make sure it was correct. So this is the one I'm going to use. So I'm going to duplicate it. Then I'll grab both of these and hold down my shift key and, whoopsie, grab both, hold down my shift key and spin them around. And then I'll just print these. So I'll go to File and Print. And as you know, maybe a lot of people always ask me, what printer do I use? I have an Epson 7720 that I converted to sublimation, and all that means is I didn't use the regular ink in there. I used sublimation ink. I also have a 7720 that I use for regular ink. It's over here somewhere. Let's see. There it is. But I'm going to use the sublimation one. I'll go to my preferences. And for my preferences, I have figured out a sublimation preset that I've made for myself. Okay. My quality is high. paper is bright white, and I'll just say okay. Again, make sure that these are mirrored. If they're not, you're in big trouble. Well, this should be fine. I'll say print, and I'll print these, and I'll be back to show you what they look like. Okay, this is what it looks like when it prints out. It looks really dull, and you may be thinking, oh my gosh, it's not right. But that's the way it does look on the sublimation paper. But look at the colors you get. Nice, vibrant colors when it is heat set. So again, this shows why I don't need to even have a machine for this. I don't need to worry about whether I have a Cricut or a Silhouette. All I'm going to do now is just cut this apart. And make sure I don't go over top of anything. Just using this cutter, cut it apart like that. And I can cut off these edges fairly close. Leave a little bit of a white border because that's what I like to use for my tape. But not too much of a white border. Just enough. There we go. So I just need to do one to show you how to do this. So I'm going to turn on my heat press now. I like to have my heat press, and I'll show you that in a minute. I have it set at 385 degrees for 190 seconds. So I take this, I'll take this mug, and as I said, I'll clean it off first with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and a paper towel or a Kleenex, whatever I can grab, just to make sure that it's not dirty with a bunch of greasy fingerprints, just like that. Okay, well, let that get drying a little bit. Okay, people ask me all the time, what's the tape that I'm using? You have to get a special tape. I got mine from Heat Press Nation. I also got the holder there. The holder didn't quite fit the tape very well, so I had to put some tape around it so that it would stay on there better. But that fixed it. But it has to be a special kind of tape. You just can't use regular old tape from your house. So again, I'm going to put this on here like this. So what I'm trying to do is to kind of make it so it's about even from the handle. And then what I can probably do, because of the way I cut this, is to go ahead and tape one side first. So the way I put the tape on here, remember that white border I left on there? I don't want the tape to go beyond the white border. So I'll put the tape sideways like this, like that. Okay. Then I'm going to wrap this all the way around, making sure that it's nice and taut. And I don't use any kind of butcher paper or anything like that. I've not had a need to. It's worked perfectly for me thus far. So I'm going to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm going to continue like this, and I know that this should be straight. So that's good, just like that. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this in my heat press, and hopefully I can show you that process next. Okay, as I said, I have my heat press set to 385 degrees for 190 seconds. I'm going to bring this in here. I've already measured one to make sure it's going to fit perfectly before I started this, and I should have shown you that, but just press that down like that, hit the go button, and it's going to go for 190 seconds. I am using the heat press. That's the 4-in-1. I have it linked in my Amazon shop if you want to see which one I'm using. And I'll be back to show you this when it's done. Okay, there are about 15 more seconds. And when it's ready, the timer will buzz over there. I'll hit the button and take this out. I have a nice hot pad here to put it on. Please know that you can touch the handle of your mug when it's done, but you cannot touch the mug because it's very, very hot. So I bring this out, let this cool off just a little bit before I attempt to take the stuff off the paper. Okay, I think that's probably pretty good. So just again, just holding the handle because the mug is very, very hot. Just get the tape started. And now you can see how beautifully this turned out, hopefully. It's perfect. And here's the spent paper that goes in the trash now. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed seeing how easy it was to go from our kit that we have for cards and making something for sublimation for a mug. If you want to grab this, it's in my Etsy shop or our Etsy shop, the DIGI Chicks. Look for the link down below. I'll also have links for my Amazon shop where you can look up the heat press that I use and that kind of stuff. So again, thanks for joining me. Hey, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and share it. I really, truly appreciate it. Thanks again. Bye, y'all.